What's up, family? We back, man. I'm Mac the Guru.
Dark Heart of God.
And we appreciate everybody for checking out the videos. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Today, and then the details down in the description for the IGs, for the book of the month, for everything, the Cash App, the PayPal. We appreciate all the support.
Number one, it was a focus on homicides, of course. 3 different ones, at least. Then it was a focus on marijuana, weed, smoking weed, and I guess how that affects your decision making. Another one was...
That's interesting.
Yeah, I know. Another one was the CTE at the end, you know what I'm saying? They was talking about his brain.
Right.
And that issue or whatever.
Right.
And then, of course, one of the bombshells was him being accused or allegedly so-called gay or bisexual with his so-called quarterback or whatever. But I done seen people dispute that, saying he wasn't even Aaron's quarterback in high school, et cetera, et cetera.
So, look, okay, so...
This one's tricky, and it comes in layers.
It comes in layers,
yeah.
Right? So, let's start with the weed aspect, right?
Marijuana.
So, you say they was trying to say because of the weed?
It was a lot of emphasis on weed, and they're smoking weed, and they're smoking weed, and they're smoking pot all day. Like,
well, I think they is saying, like, yo, these football players, they...
weed?
Yeah, they smoking weed.
Okay.
Yeah, it ain't like...
Baseball players, too. Basketball players, too.
I mean, people in general. Smoke
people
weed.
in general, yeah. So.
But do you think that play a role in decision making? Yeah, it do.
I don't think it'll make you...
I thought about it, yeah, it do.
It made you think about it right there, but...
Not to that extent, though.
I don't think it make you shoot a nigga.
We don't give
you... know what I'm saying?
We don't give you...
Liquid courage is not alcohol.
Yeah.
It do the opposite effect, don't it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather... You could have said...
You can't get paranoid, though.
And shot him.
Hold on, though. You can't get paranoid.
Super paranoid. Extreme levels of paranoia, right? But I'd have believed him if they said, Ern was drunk and this is why he did that. Not because he was high.
But he could have been paranoid.
He'd have tried to work it out.
This dude about to snitch on me.
True.
They was trying to say that. So he could have been paranoid.
True. He probably was paranoid. Well, no.
We do make you paranoid.
Looking at what he did, it was a bunch of bonehead type of deals. So I'm not going to say he was paranoid. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the case and the evidence against him and how he executed what he did. How he did it, I know just... It wasn't no weed paranoia.
Well, I wouldn't say...
Just dumb.
I'm not going to say it's because of weed, though.
No.
I'm just saying you can't get paranoid off weed. But I would never
Most
say
definitely.
he murdered a person. Murdered a few people over weed.
No,
Yeah,
nah.
Nah. Then it's the aspect of the homicides, right?
Yeah.
So he murdered the 2 dudes just randomly leaving from a club.
That he got
So the little cockeyed dude say.
Right. Who was with him, I guess,
And
hanging
was
with
supposed to
him.
be real grimy.
Hanging with him, real grimy, whatever, but then years later come back around to say, yeah, he did that. Right. It was suspect, the whole thing.
It was weird, yeah. And
in the end, that's what he got off on, right? That's the murders he walked on before he killed himself. It was that retrial or that trial right there.
He got off on those.
Right.
And so he got off on those. But I think he did those too.
Yeah, of course. He probably did, yeah.
Because he got the car stashed away at his...
everything,
people.
yeah.
And that's what really blew me away, though. From watching it, I said, damn, this motherfucker he not the brightest.
Dumb as hell.
Yeah.
The phone conversations, I said that, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they exposed him by playing every
he
phone
having conversations
conversation.
like they do on the TV series. Like, what?
My nigga. He said, hey, them stripper hoes, he said, my wife ain't as bad as them stripper hoes. He was talking about some strippers. He was like, my wife ain't as bad as them. No, well, I'm just thinking, like, listening to this fucking mindset of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And how he's thinking, period. Because that's the most dangerous part.
I think he was a clown.
Period. But his cousin was a rider. Shout out to her, the one that died from cancer. She went to jail they stashed the truck at her house. She kept her mouth shut and all that. Went and did her time.
I ain't got no shout out for her. Fuck her too.
No. Her cancer. See, we had a couple episodes ago. We talked about lying, and I was saying, well, you know, fuck lying, and you was like, well, there's certain shit you'll lie about. And I was like what, motherfucker? He was like, well, to protect somebody or something. Maybe somebody you love or some shit.
Okay, maybe she didn't know the full story.
Even if she knew the full story, she didn't snitch on her little cousin.
But even if she know the full story, if she know the full story, that ain't no rider. To me.
I'd never tell you the full story then.
No, that's not no rider, D.
What you mean?
Yeah, like if you tell me, yeah, man, I got into it with some. That dude just murdered 2 people for no reason.
She was supposed to call the law and be like, I think my little cousin.
Nah, I'd have been like, man, get your
dumb ass up out of here.
Yeah, get your dumb ass
man. I didn't say she was smart. I just said she rolled.
That's not being smart.
All parties involved are dumb.
Yeah.
You can tell that off the
ain't no way out of
rip.
it. But I'm saying, if I come to you, that's like me saying, you pick me up and I got coke on me and we get pulled over and I throw it under your seat. Are you riding if you don't say nothing?
In that instance, see, now it's situational. You hear me? If I get locked up for your coke in my car and you walking around.
She getting locked up for his murders.
No, she didn't get locked up for murder.
Too.
She didn't get locked up for murder. She got locked up because she simply said, I don't know nothing about this.
Right, that's what I'm saying. She getting locked up for his shit. You know what I'm saying? For his murder.
Absolutely.
Like, ain't no way somebody gonna... First off,
he was the money man, too.
You tell me that. I don't care.
He was the money man,
that's
too.
That's where your principles and morals come in.
But that's why they got to be loyal to they money man.
I don't see it that way.
Like when Biggie, homeboy took the fall for him so he could make it rapping what people do with the jail. He was the money man.
I feel like that's different though. You know. I feel like it's situational.
Aaron was the money man too.
I don't know. I feel like she was stupid too. I'm like,
yeah.
I just felt bad for the families because it's like
all the families that this out of control motherfucker is just
no. But bro, that's why I said because she probably couldn't know the whole detail because she know that. So you shot some. Why you shoot him? Because they spilled the drink on you.
On you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the person you with, like, yo, man, it ain't even... So it couldn't have been nothing...
serious.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Like...
But Aaron, I think, was out of control.
Okay.
Period.
So, he was out of control, but then you also got the gay lover stuff that was in it.
Right.
Which was out of control. And, like...
Something in me says, don't believe this dude watching.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And he was talking with his daddy there too, right?
Yeah.
He was talking about how his daddy was like, Aaron ain't no damn fag or some shit. And he had to tell him, well, yes he is, Dad. I was messing with him type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Something in me just was like, don't even believe him. I don't know. I mean, nothing about, not to bash none of the gay stuff or none of that. Just it didn't resonate with me. It was like, is this dude lying? I didn't feel it.
I didn't feel it either, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
At the same time, I don't know.
But I did feel like Aaron might have got molested as a child.
His brother said that.
His brother said
when he
that.
went in the tent and they didn't come back out. I go see, he went in the tent with some older cat and they never came back out. So after hiding for so long, he was like, well, ain't nobody looking for me. Came out, and apparently Aaron was in the tent with the older cat, and they asked him, "Do you think your brother was molested?" He said, "He said there's no doubt in my mind he got molested that day." Now, could that have carried with him his whole life, and that's a sexual assault? Did that morph into murders? Because I don't think he's sexually assaulting people. Or
Yeah.
you saying that morphed into the gay stuff.
Nah, I don't. It could morph into everything. It just morphed into trauma.
His trauma from that period.
Yeah, morphs into.
Exploded when he was at the club. You
No.
know, or anybody, you know what I'm saying?
I think
that
it could
looked at
have
him wrong.
contributed to him. It could his trauma contributed to him.
To him
contribute
wanting to
to
be
this.
the tough guy.
No, I think it just contributed to how he carried himself. But I don't think that was it. I don't think that's the total. I think all these things play a role.
Mm.
You know, if one of these things went different, it could have been different. But
For
I
sure.
think the thing that played the biggest role
Was
is CTE.
CTE.
Yeah. Like, people don't. You seen that movie?
Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
No.
Bruh. Like, people, it make perfect sense, though.
Mm.
You got humans putting on a helmet that's hard as a rock, equipment, and these are the fastest, strongest people.
The gladiators.
Yeah. And they just going like this.
Bang. Bang. All day long.
Yeah. Like, they doing that in practice. Not so much in the pros no more, but in the game, 16 games a year, you play 10 years and you going.
No, if you played your whole life.
You listen to stories
some
Jerome
of them
Bettis
from
say.
7 to the pros.
Right.
Mhm.
And Jerome Bettis say when he got older, he'd wake up and couldn't move.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after the game,
Mhm.
he said, man, I'd wake up and be in my bed and be like, yo, I can't move my body. It'd take him a long time for him to just,
Get up.
yeah, start moving his body. That's crazy.
Dude, the Raiders guard, I forgot his name, or tackle, ran into a semi on the goddamn highway head on.
Yeah, they was
He was bipolar. Yeah.
they was bugging out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that could have, no, he was bugging out.
Which brings us to Antonio Brown.
Right.
You think this is CTE or is it clown ass nigga?
I think,
It's
I
hard
don't-
to identify.
I
Because
don't-
you got clown ass niggas, and then you could say, well, he got a brain thing. Because he play football. He's a clown ass nigga playing football, so he could have CTE.
right, so I don't think it's, you know, I think he could be a clown. That could be part of it.
No.
But I think he is a boy.
Mhm.
He's of age, but I think he still do got a boy mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's CTE too.
And Antonio Brown.
Yeah, so I think he got a boy mentality already. But I think it's definitely CTE.
Can they study these people's brains
Uh-uh.
while they alive?
Uh-uh.
They can't.
Yeah, once they
Because
start,
with Arians, they said that's the worst case they seen.
I think Antonio
So
Brown
it affected him
it's
for
gonna
sure.
be bad.
When they get his brain,
It's gonna be
they
bad.
gonna see. Are they studying the brains of random players that's dying? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they see every player that played in the National Football League has this problem, or some of them do? That's the thing. I don't know if there's enough data.
I don't know the whole study, but no, I think this a thing. I don't think this not a thing. It make perfect sense. It's a thing.
Yeah,
You motherfuckers run into each other all day,
banging heads, especially the
thing.
linemen.
and it make me think the truth. Because I remember Antonio Brown got knocked out a few games.
Yeah,
I remember when Burpick hit him, like, right in his head.
I've been knocked out before.
Yeah, like, I think that do something to you, and I think football is going to eventually go.
Because of this.
Yeah, because
Nah.
it's a
I
more.
think it'll be there forever.
Nah,
I mean,
more
they'll
and
change
more
rules and stuff.
I think they're gonna change rules. What's gonna be like? They might be playing flag football, and football might be there, but it ain't
It's
gonna be.
because of the collisions and, you know what I'm saying, the gladiator sport that we like it.
Yeah, that's true, but it's sports. Football ain't big everywhere. Because me, I'm a parent, right?
True.
I love football. I love watching it.
But,
My son ain't playing football right now.
right. LeBron said the same thing, didn't
And he, right.
Mhm.
And he asked me, he want to play. I'm like, no, you going to do basketball, track, and and soccer right now.
Especially when they're young.
If you wanted to play tennis or golf or something, like, you could do that too.
Right.
But nah, you ain't playing football. You play flag football.
Right.
Play flag football. But you ain't getting these pads. I let them get in once, just so I could let them get in and see it. I'm like, nah, I ain't about to have them doing it. Nah, it ain't happening.
That's dangerous.
But they were so young when I let them in it, they wasn't even hit.
But I coached 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, out of 13-year-olds. We had a kid break his leg on a 6, 7, 8 team. You know what I'm saying? That's heartbreaking as a coach, parent. You know what I'm saying? When them kids hurt themselves, they be like, man. And we out here playing football for fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This don't attribute to the colleges watching you or none of that. For fun. And little dude broke his leg. It's just, it's dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you could get hurt in all sports.
True.
But football is something I truly think, like, if I had the money to buy a team, buy any sport team, it wouldn't be football.
It wouldn't be football. If I had the money, it'd be a football team.
Now, I think it's going to transition out.
I don't think so.
I think it is. Or maybe I'm just hoping it do, because the thing is, for one, as far as pay, it's the worst sport. They get paid worse than...
They should get paid the most.
Right, but they get paid, but they don't, because
they don't have that guaranteed money and all that. Yeah.
Grip on. They get paid worse than every other sport.
Period.
They the lowest paid.
Period.
So, yeah, it's like, why would you do? You hear people say it all the time that they're able to do basketball or some other sport.
They do that. They go play baseball.
Yeah, man. Nah, I do that.
Russell didn't.
Kyler Murray.
He did. Russell didn't. Yeah, Kyler didn't.
But they
Deion
quarterbacks
played
too.
Deion did both sports.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think,
are we gonna have another 2-sport person? Can anybody do that again?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's gonna be good enough. You either gonna be really good here or really good there. Like Deion, Bo Jackson, they was really good on both sides in both sports. It's elite.
It's possible, but you know, with the football thing, another thing I want to say, one of the reasons why I think it's harder to go, because the guys that played it don't even want to. I watched Chris Carter and Shannon Sharp talk about the CTE, and they was like, both of them basically made excuses like, no, it ain't. They don't even want to admit it, and I get it, because it's fair, really, because if, like, say all the players do be having CTE, it's like a CTE. It's a fair that, yo, when I turn 55, I start going crazy. Yeah. So they want to just, like, nah, that ain't even
slow down on that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, so I think it's a fair. And then the grown folks continue on and push it because they like it. You know what I'm saying? But it's more and more parents that's like, nah, my kids ain't gonna do it.
What up? This is Dark Your Heart of God, and I'm chilling with Mac the Guru. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And for any info or questions, hit us up at GodsandGurus@gmail.com.